Selection of samples. There are many different methods of sampling. Amongst them are opportunity sampling. The term is self-explanatory. A sample is chosen from those members of the population available at the time. This is also known, for obvious reasons, as convenience sampling. Quota sampling. This is a non-probability sampling technique wherein the assembled sample has the same proportions of individuals as the entire population with respect to known characteristics, traits, or focused phenomenon. So this might happen, for example, at a supermarket where you get people trying food. They might be told that they need to get so many people in a 10 to 20 age group and then a 20 to 30 age group and so on. So they go out and specifically try to ask a certain number of people in each age group. So I've mentioned here this type of sampling is often seen at supermarkets, and that's basically what I just said. Judgment sampling. Instead of using probability, judgment is used in an attempt to select a representative sample. And you can just think to yourself about the possible errors that can creep in there. Purposive sampling, choosing representatives that meet certain conditions. For example, we might want to ask only people who like cheese about something. This course, however, is mainly concerned with probability-based sampling techniques, such as simple random sampling. In this type of sampling, every individual has an equal chance of being chosen for the sample. This is often done using random numbers, as we will see in the examples that follow. But basically, what you do is give everybody in the population a number, and then you select numbers at random, and the people or the random numbers that come up correspond to the members of the population that you put into your sample. Stratified random sampling is designed to reduce any possible bias. Bias can still creep in with simple random sampling, even though the sample is drawn at random. Think about your school. You might want to draw a random sample of 10% of people in your school. Now, even though it's random, you might end up with a lot more Year 7s. And particularly, you might end up with a lot more Year 7 boys than other groups. And they might well have different opinions on certain things compared to older students and girls. Stratified random sampling attempts to reduce that possible source of bias. So what we do is, we take a simple random sample, but we do it within each group. So with a stratified sample, we split the groups, for example, making sure we get 10% of Year 7 girls, 10% of Year 8 boys, etc. And we perform a simple random sample within each group in order to give us our stratified sample. So stratified sampling is a really good way to go with lots of things. Cluster sampling, choosing a group from the population to be the sample. The group is usually selected at random. And systematic sampling. The first representative is chosen at random, and then every nth individual is chosen. Now, this is quite hard to explain in this sort of format, so I've got an actual example that goes through systematic sampling. For any probability-based sample, we will need to work with random numbers. These may be tables of random numbers or pseudo-random numbers generated on your calculator.